The assassination of Carlos Manzo. You think that was... There was involvement with the government?
The government has its pieces and it uses organized crime to make the hits. When he's being loud against the government, when he's being loud against the president, they got to shut him up.
What is the relationship between Israel and the United States?
We use Israel to do our bidding in the Middle East, destabilize the Middle East so that we can go in there and do what we want to do.
You think there's any connection between the assassination of Charlie Kirk and Israel?
It was an inside job. But who did it, who's behind it, I don't know.
Like, who in their right mind says, hey, you know what? Let's give these kids
have to be a lunatic.
Puberty blockers. Who in their right mind says, you know what? Let's let this guy compete in women's boxing so this guy could beat the shit out of this individual. Yeah, that's a great idea. Who?
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
The assassination of Carlos Manzo. You think that was... How can I put it in nice... No, let's not put it in nice terms. There was involvement with the government? Like with that... Was that a planned execution? Is what I'm trying to get at.
I think that every single execution in Mexico is planned, and it's a co-inspiring the government with criminal organizations. Well, they work hand in hand. You know, Mexico is a narco state. There's no doubt about that. I mean, everybody knows that. You know what I mean? If you don't know that, it's because you live under a rock. So, no different than we were talking about earlier. But you know, the government has its pieces, and it uses organized crime to make the hits. So when he's being loud against the government, when he's being loud against the president, when he's being loud against the governor, they got to shut him up. Same thing what happened with the 43. Was it the 43 missing in what was it? In the 43 students that were going to go protest. And the governor or the mayor's like, hell no, you're going to do that. So she sent the cartels to go and basically unalive all of them, you know? So it's not nothing new. Same thing with Camarena. Look what happened. Look, like, who killed Camarena? The Camarena was killed by the DEA and the CIA. You know what I mean? He stumbled across something he was not supposed to stumble across. You know? They say all...
Whoa. Okay, hold on.
You know, it's the same thing with Camarena, Kiki Camarena.
So Kiki Camarena, you think... Okay.
Well, there's been a lot of whistleblowers about it.
So within the same organization,
well,
he was targeted because he knew some shit he shouldn't have known.
Yeah. Well, there's whistleblowers about that already. There's already... Look, you know, when people talk about... I don't like that people blame America for everything going on in the world. Everything's always America's fault. But you got to think about Central America, the destabilization of Central America. For example, you have you have Panama, right? Honduras. You have Venezuela to a certain extent. They have the Contras, right? So what they were doing was they were letting Mexico traffic, but then using funds to be able to give to the revolutionaries in those countries to overthrow the government. So America's always used a third party to do their bidding for them, you know? Well, obviously, they're sovereign countries. We can't go in there. But if there's already revolutionaries inside those countries, all you got to do is fund them. So they let America traffic. They let Mexico and the Mexican cartels traffic. And then the payout or the tax for that is, but you got to use some of those profits and send them down south because we have things that we have going on down south to overthrow the governments and destabilize those countries so then we can use an excuse to go in, you know. So is everything that goes wrong in every country America's fault? No. But, I mean, do we destabilize countries to go in there afterwards? Yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's not a secret. There's been so many whistleblowers about it. It's not like it's a new thing. And by the way, even if there wasn't whistleblowers, is it hard to believe? How do you think they become the biggest country in the world, the strongest country? It doesn't happen because you're nice. It happens because you're doing shit that you're not supposed to. We've done a lot of things we're not supposed to do in order to be where we are. Don't get me wrong, though. I'd rather be on the giving end than on the receiving end. You know what I mean? So am I happy that we've done that as a country? No, but shit, if somebody was going to do it, I'd rather us do it. Somebody's going to do it. It's human nature. Somebody's going to do it.
Okay.
Exactly.
So on that note, what is the relationship between Israel and the United States? Because there's a lot of shit going on that Israel's,
Yeah.
Like they control. It's like we're puppets and they're controlling.
Yeah.
They're controlling our strings.
Yeah, what's
up with that, bro?
Look, there's a lot of what I'm about to tell you guys right now is simply my perspective. I'm not saying this is reality. This is my perspective.
Okay.
As you guys know, I've traveled the world. I've met with a lot of people. I know a lot of politicians. I've been invited to presidential events, like American presidential events. And here's my input on it. Again, everybody's free to believe what they want. Because at the end of the day, we can't 100% verify anything that anybody says because it's just opinions, right?
Exactly. Okay.
So I'm going to give you my opinion.
Okay.
My opinion is that, on the contrary, Israel controls America. My opinion is that's not the case. My opinion is that we use Israel to do our bidding in the Middle East, destabilize the Middle East, so that we can go in there and do what we want to do. And because of that, every time Israel does something, we protect them because they're our enforcer in the Middle East. So, if you have an enforcer out there that's doing dirty shit for you, then the only thing you can offer them outside of money is protection. So that's why it seems, in my belief system, it seems like what we're doing more than receiving orders is giving orders. And when it's time to get backlash for what they do, we just simply protect them, And anybody in your comments goes, "Oh, you're an idiot. Israel controls us." You don't know that any more than I do, right? Unless you have proof, it's just your idea. You watch TikTok videos and you that's where you think you're getting your information from, for you to know what you're talking about. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about any more than I know what I'm talking about. Just say it's your opinion. My opinion is that they control us. Fine, that's your opinion, but you have no proof to back that up. You'd be dead if you did. You'd be dead if you did. Does it make sense?
Pretty much.
The FBI, the CIA, the DA, they know. If you knew information, you wouldn't live. So don't talk as if you know. I'm giving my opinion, and you don't have to agree with it. But my opinion is they do our bidding for us. Therefore, we protect them when shit hits the fan. Outside of doing bidding for us, I'm sure they do bidding for themselves, and then we have to protect them regardless because they are our strong arm out there. They're our eyes and ears in the Middle East.
Fuck. I'm gonna ask you this though. I don't know, guys. This is gonna get deep. So go grab your popcorn and fucking una pinche soda, whatever. You think there's any connection between the assassination of Charlie Kirk and Israel?
I don't know. I love listening to Candace Owens, but I'm listening to theories on all different sides. And to be honest with you, brother, if I told you that it wasn't an inside job, sure. Like, it was an inside job. But who did it, who's behind it, I don't know. I think the conservatives try to use it as if it was the left. I don't think it was the left, though. I think that it's a deeper state. Colleges are indoctrination camps.
Yes, I agree with that.
And when you're going in there and you go from only having 3 or 4 people watch you that don't agree with you and talk shit to you like Charlie had for many years before he became popular. And then you go in to watch his recent 2-3 year college appearances and he has 500 people there and they're all wearing MAGA hats. He's making an impact. And I think, well, obviously I don't think because they went through with this, somebody didn't like that. Somebody didn't like that he was switching the indoctrination camps on them because that's all they are. Colleges are just propaganda campuses to teach people how to love socialism, hate America, be an activist to whatever bullshit ideology you may have. And he went in there and he started changing. He single-handedly changed that. Nobody did what he did.
I think colleges progressively got worse.
Of course.
I think when I went to college, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about 2007, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. But I think progressively,
in the past 10 years,
it's gotten really bad.
Hence, that's what gave birth to a Charlie Kirk. He saw what was happening in the colleges, and he realized. By the way, there was a spy, a Russian spy, a defector, that they asked him, "How do you guys plan on controlling America? You can't beat them military-wise." He says, "We have no desire to beat America using a bullet. We use ideologies." And so what they're doing is that they're funding these colleges. And when you fund the colleges, well, then you control the narrative. And so when you're funding a college and you're saying, hey, we're giving you $2, $3, $4, $5 billion, you're going to teach what we want you to teach. They can use our own schooling system against us. So,
but that's not just college.
No, it's everything. Point. It's politics as well. I fully believe, like, for example, you have AIPAC. AIPAC is funding Republicans and Democrats. That's an influence. I believe that we are the country with the most external funds to lobby in our country. I believe that America is a whore individually for politicians and in the schooling system. That's what I believe. I don't have any facts to back it up.
But why are we allowing that? Is my question. Or who is allowing it?
Well, I think that what ends up happening is that freedom comes at a cost, right? We are the freest country in the world as far as mobility, freedom of speech, freedom to bear arms. But with that freedom comes a little bit too much freedom of you being able to deal with foreign countries with no intervening, with nobody intervening. And so that freedom comes at a price, and that's the price. Agree. Freedom comes with a price, and that's the price.
What do you think about Mondani being the mayor of New York and his socialist ideologies?
Well, that's obviously not going to work, hence why he's already begging people for money. He's already
it took him 2 days, right?
Yeah, he raised like $2 or $4 million already. So, or something like that. And, I think that, by the way, if you look at the dynamics of who put him in office, it was white liberal women that voted for him the most, more than even the Muslims.
So I'm assuming they don't know what Sharia law is, right?
Well, I think that again, but that's where freedom comes at a cost, right? They think that everybody should do whatever they want no matter what. And I agree with that to a certain extent. But when you give voting power to people that will give that power to entities that want to destroy us, that's when it becomes dangerous. But freedom is dangerous. That freedom of a vote comes with the danger of you voting for the wrong person. But then if you don't have that, then you have dictatorship. And so the question becomes, which one do you pick? Do you pick a dictatorship where, fuck you, we know what's best for you? Or do you pick a free society where you get to vote for your own demise? It seems like it's a double-edged sword.
That's what it seems like.
It seems like it's double-edged sword.
The way you're putting it seems exactly what it is.
Well, that's the only two options you have. A dictator tells you what to do, think, believe, or so much freedom that even idiots get to vote. Yeah.
But going back to what you said earlier, so I think that college indoctrination.
Yeah, indoctrination camps.
Is this socialist ideology.
Of course.
That aligns with the Mondanis.
It's the Trojan horse. It's the Trojan horse. Think about, any time that any country, think about one of the greatest war kings that ever existed in my eyes, again, in my eyes. One that I study a lot and I like a lot is Alexander the Great. By the time Alexander the Great was 33, he had conquered the world, pretty much. And so when he died, his empire was split between 4 of his generals because he did not leave an inheritor. So it got split between 4 of his generals and it fell apart. Same thing happened with Rome. So if you think of the greatest empires, they've always fallen within. They don't fall from external stuff. And America will, if America falls, which I hope it doesn't, anybody.
I hope it doesn't either, bro.
Well, a lot of people, it's going to fall eventually. I hope that you don't hope that, especially if you live here, right? I hope that you're not calling that into existence because that's dangerous too, right? I understand. Is it reality? Sure. But why would you even want to, that's what's going to happen. Why would you even want to speak about that, right? Because then where the fuck are you going to go after here? Where are you going to go? So I hope that you don't say that with enthusiasm, that, it's going to happen eventually, as if you're excited for the new fucking Jordans to come out. You know what I mean? It's like, no, bro, don't say that with enthusiasm. On the contrary, be a fucking patriot and say, what can I do to try to prevent it from happening? Though you may not be able to, but at a smaller level, you may be able to contribute, But going back to my original point, this textbook of using countries' own educational systems against it and political ideologies has always been the demise of any country.
How do we combat that? Because
man,
it's getting worse.
Well, the reason that we're losing this battle, brother, is because I believe that people that have good morals, values, and principles are not having enough kids to raise their kids to ideologies. Like, think about, if you think about the Muslim Brotherhood, right? They're wanting to dominate the world. And they have 3 ways of how they plan on doing it. One of them is through breeding. For every 2 Christian kids that are born, Muslims are having 6. They're breeding their way to power. Shit. So how do you stop an ideology like that? Think about how you're raising your children, right? What are you teaching them? They'll eventually become crusaders for whatever you believe in. I mean, at the very least, you would hope that they do, right? Because you can't determine that. So I think that having more kids for us Christians, conservatives is important, because then we're going to breed them to think like us. Because you and me can combat it to a certain extent, but what about the next layer? There'll be a next layer of fucking lunatic liberals. Who's going to combat them? Our kids are going to combat them, So we got to have more kids. And then luckily for us, liberals love abortion. They love not showing off that they don't have kids, and I love that. The less of them that breed, the easier it is to beat them. So I'm so happy that they're pro-choice. I'm happy. I never fight a liberal on being pro-choice. Please be. Please do not procreate. Please don't. You make my job easier. Because for your 0 kids, I'm going to have 3, 4. And I'm going to win this war against your stupid ideologies with time. Well, so please, I'm pro-choice depending on who it is. I hope the conservatives are not pro-choice, because we need more of us. And the lunatic liberals, victim mentality, crybabies living off of the government. This used to be Mexico. Those motherfuckers, I really hope you guys believe I hope you're pro-choice. And then I hope that you execute your belief system and you never procreate.
Well, you'll do us
all a favor.
Speaking of liberals, I was scrolling through Instagram, and I seen that.
And by the way, real quick before I continue, I know that sounds fucked up, but if you guys have seen me on any podcast, I speak what I say what I believe.
It's your opinion, and you're entitled to it.
And I know it's fucked up.
Some people are going to agree with this, some are not.
Some people are going to think it's fucked up, but either way, I don't care.
It's your opinion. That's your truth.
I'll never fight a liberal being pro-choice. Please go for it. And teach your friends about it too.
I was scrolling down Instagram, and I seen that a man won the strongest woman
in the world
contest. Yeah, okay, they stripped it from him. But why does it have to get to that point? Like, at what point are we going to stop these men beating on these women? Like, in professional sports? Like, when do we stop this? This is fucking ridiculous.
Let me tell you the way I look at it, brother. I think what happens is that, but think about who's allowing it. Is it men allowing it? Who stands up more for transgenderism than men do? Who does? Every time you watch somebody standing up for transgender, she is a woman. Who is it? Is it a man?
No.
It's always women. Women are the ones that are.
Well, then again, going back to the Mandani, women. He had the highest votes.
White liberal women are the biggest poison to our society. Not white people. White liberal women are the biggest poison to our society, because they want to be so politically correct. They'll ruin the country doing that. And they're doing it right now. And why do I say it's them? They have the biggest voting bloc. White Americans are the majority of this country. So the reality is their voting bloc is much bigger than ours, than the Hispanic and the black community. So therefore, by the way, who do you think voted for Gavin Newsom? Strong, independent men? No. White, pink hair, blue hair, liberal women, white women are the ones voting for these idiots. Gavin Newsom won because of liberal white women. And so did Mandani. Or whatever the fuck his name is, because I really don't care either way. Yeah.
But I just don't understand how giving Gavin's track record, like, you're okay with that.
Because people...
Mismanagement of $24 billion, right? Like, they just disappeared. The homelessness issues. We could go on.
It's not that people agree with the ideology. It's that it's against a Republican. That's all they care about. It's not a vote for the Democrat. It's a vote against a Republican. if that makes sense.
Makes
Like people that voted for Biden, they didn't vote for Biden. They voted against Trump. So Newsom is the closest thing to their ideology, whether he fucks up or not.
Is that why you think that every argument that the Democrats make
Is against Trump.
is being opened up by against Trump? It has to be tailored or designed for it to be Trump this, Trump that, and there's really no solutions here, right?
No.
Like their target is
That's
the
it.
moment you mention Trump, it triggers emotion.
Well, think about like when you listen to AOC, when you listen to Chuck Schumer, when you listen to Ilhan Omar. What do they talk about all the time? They're always just talking shit. There's never solutions, because that's how they get their base to vote for them, talking shit about the other side. So when you talk to a liberal and you challenge them on their beliefs based on facts, they're always going to lose that debate. But what they know is that the Hispanic and the black community is very emotional. So all they got to do is pull on the emotional strings. They already know that playbook works. That blueprint works for the Hispanic and the black community. It's been working, and it's working to this day. Think about this. The Democrat Party owned the slaves. The Democrat Party is the one that supported Jim Crow and the lynchings. The Democrat Party is who put the KKK in power. And yet, the same Democrat Party convinced Democrats that there was a party switch, though there's no facts to back that up. That the party switched sides. That never happened. Legitimately never happened. Then they have they even have names for them. The Great Party Switch, but it was the Southern Strategy and all that. They have names for their fucking delusion. So think like, bro, there's no facts to back up what you're saying. The Democrats own the slaves, period. Yeah, but they used to be. There's no facts to back that up. But what do? They use colleges and the propaganda to teach Democrats, modern Democrats, that it was the Republicans the one that owned the slaves. No, they weren't. It was the Democrats. But the Great Party Switch and the party switch sides and this, and you don't understand. No, you don't have any facts to back it up. But the only Republican that ever owned a slave is because he married a Democrat woman.
Oh, shit.
And you can actually look this up.
You inherit the baggage.
That's all it is. He married a Democrat woman.
Hold on, I got a question real quick. You think that's the reason why Democrats don't go on podcasts, because they don't have nothing?
Brother, the debates fall apart immediately. I mean, some do go on podcasts, to be fair, but
Who do you like? I haven't seen any.
no, they do.
Which left wing? Oh, well, Gavin goes on the ones he wants to go to.
Right.
Where's Jordan's now too?
Oh, he's pandering, huh?
How full of shit is that guy, bro? Like for real, like
snake oil salesman.
you know, I have a section where I just stopped already. Like I go in on that guy so much, and I'm just like, I want somebody else to talk shit about him.
he's a snake oil salesman.
Oh my god, it's the. Do you think with everything that we just spoke about, that college is a scam at this point?
Education is not a scam. Progressiveness within the colleges and the propaganda is a scam. That's the scam. Education is never a scam. College itself is not a scam. The propaganda within the colleges is a scam.
I agree.
That's what it comes down
100%.
to. That's what it comes down to. You know, that's my belief system. Because how would we have engineers without college? How would you have doctors, lawyers, dentists without college? You can't say college is a scam. This shit we're using right now, engineers created this.
Yeah.
We didn't create it, right? An entrepreneur thought about it, and then an engineer put it together, right? Like mechanics, a lot of them go to trade school. You know, it'd be unfair to call college a scam. You know,
I agree with you 1,000%.
the propaganda is a scam.
I think the incorporation of the indoctrination is what ruins college. So it's not a scam, because you're right. We need education.
Of course.
Education is powerful.
Somebody built this building. It was an
Yeah.
architect. He probably went to school.
He went to school, a
He had to get
structural
a license.
engineer.
Yeah, of course.
An architect. Like all these
There
are
was a lot of people
components that.
yeah, absolutely. You have to go to school. For
How did the school how did the college system get infiltrated
that? Well,
with such and such?
Well, because
propaganda.
because think about the gap of the time of your child not being under your control. Once as soon as they can do it, at what age? As soon as they can.
When they start kindergarten.
Like when they start kindergarten is at 3.
But let me. I was thinking.
My baby started at 2.5.
Well, I was thinking about like. Let me. I was trying to rephrase my question.
Okay.
They can think whatever they want from 0 to 18, but who actually controls if they do it or not? For the most part,
parents.
The parents.
Yeah.
What's the youngest where you can still brainwash them, but you no longer have control for them? What's the youngest age?
Well, teenage kids?
But there's a specific age where you are no longer responsible for
18.
them. It's 18 years old.
Okay.
At 18, you're still a kid. That's the perfect time to do your propaganda. So why would they shoot for the schooling system, K to 12, when they know that when they come home, you could undo everything they were taught for 8 hours? But when they go to college and they're living in those dorms, they ain't coming home until Christmas. By the time they come home, they've been indoctrinated for 6 months without your interference. Why? Why are they going to do it K through 12? I'm not saying they don't, because they do to a certain extent, but they can really push their agenda during the college years. You're not there. There's nobody there to teach them any morals, values, or principles. There's nobody there to stop them. They're in the and then it's herd training. They're training them as a herd how to think.
What's the percentage of professors that are
12
liberals?
to 1. It's 12 to 1. They've already done this. It's 12 to 1. Matter of fact, Patrick David talked about this. They did a study on this on the PBD podcast.
Shout out to Patrick.
PBD podcast. It was 12 to 1. Per 12 liberal professors, there's 1 conservative.
That's a problem.
Huh?
And in the closet too. Like,
Of course, they're not speaking out.
You know that when I speak to a college student nowadays, I know right away, like, they have these liberal
And they'll
views
talk to you.
and like,
Okay, so there
on
was
this socialist shit.
they-
And I'm
they
just
took-
like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
So they took this Israeli lady that was kidnapped during October 7th in Palestine. She was there for a year, and she witnessed all of it, of how they went about things. She was raped. She was killed. She wasn't killed. She was raped. She was tortured, all that stuff. She was sitting next to a Palestinian sympathizer, and she tells him all his experience. He's still, and he was a 20-year-old college kid, activist. She says, look, and she's like, she's not being aggressive with him. She says, just look at me. Let me tell you my experience of what happened when I was there. She was, by the way, certified real captive. Like, you can look up her name. She was really captive there for a year. Let me tell you what happened to me while I was there. And boom, boom. And he wouldn't even look at her. He kept his head down like this, would not even look at her. Once she's done talking, he went on his rant again. They're so brainwashed that somebody can tell you. By the way, have you guys seen the son of the leader of Hamas?
No.
Yeah, the son. Look up his name real quick, brother, please. The son of the leader of Hamas. He speaks out against Hamas, and he's having debates with people. And he says, "There he is, right there. What's his name?"
This guy right here?
Yep.
I'm trying to get his name.
Yeah, he's right there. They've interviewed
So
him.
the son of the leader of
The
Hamas
son of the
is
leader of
speaking
Hamas.
out against.
He defected many years, like 15 years ago.
Sheikh Hassan?
Hassan. And he tells them, I'm getting the chills, bro, my dad's the leader. I'm telling you what their ideologies are. And people are like, no. Bro, what are you talking about? He was Hamas. His dad is one of the leaders of Hamas. He was in Hamas school because they have schools and indoctrination camps. He defected. And now he goes and he has meetings with college kids. He's been to England, been to America. He does interviews on sympathizers that have never been to Palestine or to Israel. Never. They're in America, and he goes off on them. You would love the interviews. Look him up, bro. You will love the because he goes ham on them. He's like, stop telling me what happens in my country. I've been there. Don't tell me how they think. From the river to the sea means annihilation of Israel.
So he would have been perfect being here with all the pro-Palestine
Bro, I'm telling you.
marches.
If there's any way you can invite this guy to your podcast, bro, I promise you, I have no idea of how to get a hold of him. I have no idea. I think Patrick had him on his podcast. I think, if I'm mistaken, this guy you would love to have here, bro. You'd be like, what? And not as a pro-Israel conversation, because I'm not pro-Israel. I'm America first. But just to show you how, because we're having a conversation about indoctrination, right? We're not having a Israel-Palestine conversation.
Exactly.
Right? We're having a conversation of indoctrination. This guy goes to colleges and tells them to their face, you're fucking wrong. I was there. My dad's a leader. No. You don't know what you're talking about. How? How do kids go to college here? They go to Irvine, they go to Berkeley, they go to Yale, they go to Harvard, and they're going to know more than one of the leaders of Hamas. How? Because that's how much indoctrination works.
They've been fully transformed.
Exactly. Imagine enough to tell somebody that's lived it. Now you're wrong.
That just shows me how crazy these professors that they have and what they're being taught.
Exactly. It's pretty wild.
Okay. There's this, do you want to sell your house because it's too big or too small? Go ahead, send us a message at 323-352-7946, and let's discuss what the best option is for you. Now let's get back to the episode, baby. I see this online a lot, that people, there's a stigma or a confusion. Actually, I think people are confused.
Okay.
On what a MAGA supporter is and a conservative is. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between both?
There's a huge difference. MAGA is more Trump can't do anything wrong. Uh-huh. Trump is perfect. Trump is God. And then there's conservatives that say, I support a lot of his ideologies, but he's making a mistake here. He's fucking up here. This is not the way to go about it. No different than there's a difference between a liberal and a Democrat. You know, I know some good Democrats that don't agree with liberals.
Yeah, so do I.
Liberals, MAGA is the liberal version of the Democrats. That's all it comes down to.
It's extreme.
It's just not all of them are extreme, but some of them are extreme. Just like some liberals are not, like, kind of like think about the talk show host. Help me out.
Whoopi?
No. Talk show host. He's talking about liberals a lot, but he's a liberal. He's like, I'm a liberal. I'm a real liberal. No. Bill Murray.
Oh, Bill Murray. Okay.
Bill Murray. He's a liberal, but he's not an extreme liberal. He says Bill Maher. I'm sorry, Bill Maher.
He's been on my feed.
I'm telling you, Bill Maher is saying, hey, I'm a liberal, but I'm not like these fucking lunatics. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. So you could be MAGA and not be a lunatic. But there's some people that don't even want to identify with the MAGA revolution, right? Uh-huh. So I'm going to be honest with you. Do I support a lot of what Trump's doing? Sure. But I've moved. I'm a conservative before anything. Mm-hmm. So there's things that I don't agree with. For example, I'll give them to you. I'm going to end the war in 24 hours after I'm in office. But you didn't, though. Mm-hmm. You know? And then the whole thing with the Epstein files. Now, granted, here, let me give you guys some information for the audience. He did release the Epstein files. Richard Berman, Obama's appointed senior judge, did not allow them to get released. So in all fairness, he didn't release them as soon as he became president, but he did release them. Mm-hmm. And you can look this up. Richard Berman, Obama's appointed judge, stopped it from getting released. That's a fact. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree. I really don't give a shit if you agree with it or not. That's what happened. But nonetheless, when you're telling us you're going to release the files, we're not expecting an interruption in that happening, right? So those are, by the way, he just had the leader of a terrorist group at his I can't remember the name of,
that guy from
Syria. I don't remember where Syria, or I don't remember where he's from. Bro, the guy was chanting death to America. Why do you have him at the White House? So that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm a conservative first, and I can call out when I see things that I don't agree with. I mean, is Trump still better than Kamala? Yeah. But you know what I mean? That's what makes a difference. And you can be a Democrat and call out your Democrat party. By the way, I will, my hat goes off to the ones that have. There's some. But if you're one of those,
I had some that have.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you got to call out the bullshit. If you can't call out the bullshit, then you're not really America first. You're your party first, right?
And it shouldn't be that way. I'm America first. I'm not party first. Yeah, but you know what? This ideology, this political identity issue is like, it's off the handle at this point, because I just think it became.
Well, that's the way you divide any country. This is not. By the way, the same thing happened with Hitler in Germany. It's propaganda, and he started blaming the Jews for everything, and then that's how he got them to kill. There's a book. It's called Hitler's Willing Executioners. Hitler's Willing Executioners. people that were willing to kill in Hitler's belief system. And because of what, his ideology was, and they adopted it. It gets to a point where your propaganda is so strong that it really works beyond recognition of reality. I'll give you an example. I'm not here to defend them, and I don't really care because have no feelings towards him. But they call Trump a pedo. Where's your proof for that? Where do you have the facts to back it up? Call him that if you want to, no problem. But then you're telling, you support a pedo? No, bro, you just heard that on TikTok. You heard that on Instagram. Like, you have to be self-aware of where you hear things from. Show me, and every single time I ask for the evidence, they can never show it because it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. So you're just going to go around calling anybody a pedo that you don't agree with because somebody on TikTok said it? That's also, you're an extreme liberal. By the way, do I think that Biden had weird tendencies with kids? Sure. We saw the videos. Sniffing kids, kissing kids. Can I call him a pedo though? I don't have the proof. So I'm on that end too. Like, hey bro, let's be reasonable. Do you have the proof? Where's the case number? When did it happen? Who was the victim? When was the conviction date? Oh, well, he just is. And if you can't see it, you're a fucking idiot. Well, maybe you got played and you're the fucking idiot. How about that? How about you're the fucking idiot because you got played? I'm going to give you one right now that might be even a little bit of controversial. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
Didn't they do the same thing with Michael Jackson when he wanted to expose the Illuminati? What is the first attack they go after every single time they want to hurt somebody? Call him a pedo. Call him a pedo. All the time. All the time. That's the true. First way they go. Oh, he's a child this. Because that pulls on people's emotional cords. So you start calling, but why do the kids that supposedly he molested, when they got older, they said that never happened? How come? That no, he never molested us. He never did any of that stuff. They blamed them. Why? And then his sister Janet Jackson was in an interview. I don't know if it was with Whoopi Goldberg or I don't remember where. You can look this up. Janet Jackson, weird reaction to who killed your brother, right? Mm-hmm. They asked Janet Jackson, who killed your brother? And she has this blank stare in her face. Bro, it's like she saw the devil. She wouldn't answer the question. Who killed him? The guy was too powerful, man. When you get that big and you have that much influence, you start speaking out against the Illuminati. Yeah, man, you're gonna have some heat come your way.
And he owned the Beatles catalog, right?
He owned the Beatles catalog too, which, by the way, in all fairness, his estate still owns it. His kids gets that. But when you get that big and you're a superstar, that he was the king of the world. Name a bigger artist than Michael Jackson. To this day, even with social media, you can't tell me that Bad Bunny's that. You can't tell me Peso Pluma. You can't tell me Daddy Yankee. You can't tell me Karol G. Name a bigger artist in our lifetime, outside of our lifetime, in previous lifetimes, bigger than Michael Jackson. I can't think of one. I mean, I may be wrong. I'm not. No. I'm open to being like, hey, Ricardo, I think global. This person.
You're talking about global. Star. Yeah, he was a global star.
Global. Where else? Like, who else can you think about that was a bigger artist than Michael Jackson? I can't think of one. I could be wrong, but I can't think of one that only stayed in his lane. Obviously, we had Ronald Reagan went from being an actor to being a president, then you become a global, but that's not celebrity. You're a president now. Does that make matter of fact? His acting career wasn't all that great. But I'm talking about in all fairness, Marilyn Monroe. But even then, I still think that you would ask people who Michael Jackson is versus Marilyn Monroe, they will still tell you they'll know who Michael Jackson is over Marilyn Monroe. Anywhere in the world. To this day, he's been dead for what? 10 years, 15 years?
Probably 10 plus.
10 plus years, So when you have a guy like that, where do they immediately go? He's a pedo.
It's a narrative that they all go
By the way, they did it to Biden too. And by the way, is it weird that whenever they recuperated his daughter's diary, she said she was showering with her dad when she was a teenager? Is that weird? Sure.
That's hella weird.
But brother, where's the evidence? I don't have it.
Yeah.
I can't stand Biden. I can't stand him. But I'm not going to go around calling him a pedo. I don't have the proof for it. So both stands true on both sides. You can only say so much, man, if you don't have the proof to back it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people say he's a 34 count felon, there's more to it. And I know that. They don't know that. But are they right? Sure. Yes. Now you don't understand
But
the structure.
People don't
They don't know. They
that.
don't know. He's the first one to ever be convicted of certain things. They used and it's one felony that got split up into many different felonies. Like they grabbed.
It was 1 times 34.
Times 34. Like people don't know those details. He's a 34-time felon. Like, God, you're an idiot.
You want your president that felon to run the country?
Yeah, and it's like, but by the way, but here's the problem with that. Ready? Mm-hmm. Did they convict him?
Nope.
No. So you can say whatever you want. He didn't get convicted. Oh, because he became president before that. Imagine that you will have 34 felonies and the country still says you're a better vote over Kamala, a prosecutor.
That says a lot about the opponent.
It just says a lot about the opponent.
Where do you think we lost that common ground, though, to like be able to have a conversation like this?
Because they make it seem that people are more racist and more biased than they really are. They make it seem that way. I have a lot of Democrat friends, liberal friends, Muslim friends, Jew friends. They're fucking cool, man. All of them are. They're cool. It's the propaganda works. The propaganda really works. It really, really works. I'm on a plane coming into LA probably about a year and a half ago. Is these people first time in California? Mm-hmm. I'm sitting at the window seat. They're sitting next to me, both of them, 2 guys. And during the flight, I kind of realized that they're conservative. And they were really concerned about coming to California. They were coming for, I don't remember what they were coming for. It's been a year and a half. I don't remember what they were coming for, but and then I kind of overheard and I remember turning around to the guy in the middle, say, bro, you're going to be all right. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. You think so? I'm like, yeah, I grew up here, man. I'm conservative. I'm fine. I could go to LA, be anywhere. You're fine. Man, it's just we see all this on TV, bro. Not everybody here's a lunatic. We have a lot of conservatives in California. Matter of fact, if you look at the counties, there's more red counties than there's blue counties. There's no such thing as blue states, only blue cities. That's it. And California is not the exception. You go to Riverside, brother. Go to Orange County. Ask people how they voted. They're going to tell you they voted for Trump. I said it's not as big a deal as you think. Oh, that makes me feel good, man. I really thought we were in danger out here. No, you're not. Propaganda on the other side works too. Does it make sense? I'm like, that's when I realized, like, no, it's because it's not. I'm in LA everywhere. I have lunch, dinner here. I go everywhere. People know that I'm conservative. People know that who I voted for. They might not agree with me, but they don't fuck with me any more than I fuck with them for voting for stupid ass Kamala. Because we have more in common. What do you want? What do I want? What do you want for our family? We want them to be healthy. We want them to thrive. We want financial freedom. At the end of the day, we all have what we want for our families, and they're pretty much in common, right? Mm-hmm. Not to say that there's not going to be, bias and some people out there that are going to act stupid. When I go to Texas, I tell people I'm from California. I have to tell them, hey, but I'm conservative. Like, you shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Even if you're in Texas. Like, you shouldn't have to do that. But I have to tell people that.
Every time I go to Texas,
you have to tell them you're conservative.
My Uber driver is like, where you guys from? I'm from California.
Yep, every time.
And I always fuck with him. I'm like, you're safe. We're conservative.
Yeah.
Changes the whole mood.
Changes the dynamic.
He's like, oh, really? Yeah, let's talk shit about that. Like,
but that notion is in Texas too. So you could go to a Republican state and you're going to get the cold shoulder if you're a liberal. Let's call it for what it is. Let's call it for what it is. Let's call it for what it is. You know what I mean? You could be a conservative and go to a liberal state and you'll be fine. You could be, but here's what I would tell you. I'm about to say something that might be even controversial to some people, and a lot of my conservative friends and followers are not going to like this. You'll get less of a cold shoulder being a Republican in a blue state than you are being a liberal in a red state. And I know because I've traveled to like 30-something states. I have to tell people in red states that I'm a conservative in order for them not to give me the cold shoulder.
Really?
Yes. I've had to tell them. I would
think it was...
When I give my ID at the hotel or when people ask me where I'm from, I have to tell them I'm from California, but I'm a conservative. I shouldn't have to do that. I only have to do that in red states. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. They're a little bit more red-boned. You know what I mean? Which, is that okay? Sure. But you shouldn't have to do that just to go show that propaganda works on both sides. You know what I mean?
Right. I think it does.
That's it.
Yeah, but I love Texas, though.
I love Texas too, man. I love their barbecue. I love their barbecue and their Longhorns.
Oh, yeah. They got the best barbecue.
Yeah, they do have the best barbecue out there in Texas. Shout out to my Texas followers. I got a lot of followers in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. I love Texas. McAllen. Terry Blacks is the best. Some people
let me tell you
I love Terry Blacks.
Dog.
Terry Blacks in Dallas.
All right, bro.
In Fort Worth, yeah.
Let me tell you something.
When I land in Dallas, I have to go to Terry Blacks.
Listen.
And by the way, let me tell you though, before I continue, I don't mean to interrupt you. All our Texans, it doesn't mean it's the best. That's what we know. So when I show up, nobody showed me anything outside of Terry Blacks. So for right now, Terry Blacks is my spot. Now, if you're when I go to Texas and you see me coming to Texas and you want to take me somewhere else, I'm
about to bless you right now, dog.
Okay.
Listen, dog. I go to Texas a lot, right? I've been to Terry Blacks.
Yeah.
But I went to Hutchins the last time I went. Fire, bro.
Hutchins. Let me see. Hutchins.
What's it called? I think it's Hutchins. I'm almost positive. Bro, my Texas people, what's better? Hutchins or Terry Blacks? I'm going to have to go with Hutchins.
Barbecue?
I've been to both. Fire. They got the
Hutchins. I just
the bacon rolled Twinkie.
Well, hold on. We have one here in California.
Which one? Hutchins?
Yeah. I swear to God. Hutchins, but I swear to God.
Where?
I'll tell you right now.
Huntington Beach or something. The food looks fire. If I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. It looks fire, but
710 Heliotrope Drive, Los Angeles, California. I just looked it up.
Heliotrope is
Hutchins, right there. Hutchins Barbecue, LA.
Really?
Yeah. Hutchins Barbecue here in LA.
I hope it's the
same. The other one is in McKinney, Texas, and then Trophy, Texas.
Oh, I was in McKinney, Texas.
McKinney and Trophy.
Bro, it was fire though.
Well, there you go.
Hey, but did you try what's it called? Whataburger?
I didn't. Oh no, I did, bro. That's trash, bro.
Like a motherfucker, bro.
That's trash. Whataburger's trash. Yeah. I love my Texans.
I can't believe that's even
Texans,
an argument.
Stick to barbecue. You are not good at making burgers.
No,
but nobody can beat you guys in when it comes out to barbecue. You guys are the best.
Hands down, they're the best. But dog, In-N-Out, Whataburger.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm lucky in Bakersfield. There's a place, and shout out to these guys. There's a place in Bakersfield named Salty's Barbecue in Bakersfield. I always order my barbecue from them. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I mean, it's not Dallas, but shit, man, these guys get down. Whole little mom and pop shop. They don't even know the owner. It's not like I don't know the owner, and I don't think he knows me. Maybe he does by name. I don't know who he is, but I just want to give a shout out because anytime I order barbecue in Bakersfield, I get it from Salty's Barbecue on Rosedale. I think they're on Rosedale. Phenomenal place to eat barbecue.
Damn, big ass shout out. We're gonna have to fucking go over there once.
Salty's Barbecue.
Like once
they have their tri-tip is good. Their chili beans are good. Their macaroni's good. I haven't tried anything there that I don't like.
Hey, do they have that corn? What is it? The
cornbread?
No, it's like it's corn. It's
like in crema.
But in crema.
Oh no, I don't know if they have that.
I don't know.
I'd be lying to you. I don't know. I'd be lying to you. You see it right there, bro? Yeah, you're looking at it. It's good, bro. Salty's is a shit. Yeah.
All right. So going back to we live in California. Right. Who do you think would be the best fit? Not a best
governor,
fit, actually. Who would make the biggest impact as governor?
Blanco,
right?
Blanco's a beast. Shout out to Blanco. Yeah, if you're on the edge, look, let me tell you why I like Blanco. I tell people all the time, it's much easier to be a Democrat in a Republican state than it is to be a Republican in a blue state. Let me explain to you. I know it might sound controversial to what I just said earlier, but let me explain. If you are a conservative in a Republican state, you're a biased, sexist, bigot, all these names. But you and me, we are forced to live under the rules of the Democrat Party in California. When you're in a Republican state, your kids are still protected. There's no sex changes. There's no your boy can be a girl, your girl can be a boy. There's no weird shit going on. In some of the major cities there is. But you're protected against a lot of things. We're not protected as a conservative in California. So Blanco, to me, obviously he's a little bit more right, but he's still centered because he was raised in California. He understands both ideologies. So that's why I like Blanco. I want,
Bianco.
Oh, Bianco. I'm sorry. Why was I thinking Blanco? Bianco. I apologize. Bianco.
Shit, I said the same thing.
I don't know why I thought it was Blanco. It was Bianco. I apologize.
I just sent him a DM. I should
No, man. Bianco.
I'm told.
Yeah.
What's it called? I asked him to be on.
Yeah. Chad Bianco. I apologize. I apologize for that, Bianco. Anyway, the point is that when I listen to him talk, this guy's he needs more right, but he's more of a center guy. I'm done with the all right, and I'm done with the all left, bro. I want somebody in the middle, and I think a lot of our viewers agree. You can't be a Democrat or a liberal and agree with everything your party does. You really want transgenders or drag queens reading to your kids? Like you can't be a reasonable person to agree with that. You can't be a reasonable person and think that it's okay for your 12-year-old daughter to walk into the restroom and that a grown man can walk in there after her and that you get called a bigot sexist if you try to stop him. Like, that's extreme, bro. That's fucking extreme. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
And if you agree with that, then there's a special place in hell for you. Does that make sense? And there's no saving you. So if you are bro, I'm not Trump, but I'm also not a liberal, then I think Bianco would be a good choice. And again, I don't know him. I've never spoken to him. I've never had a conversation. But it's just from what I see. Again, this is only my opinion. I could be wrong. That's what I'm getting out of it. And I hope that if he does become governor, that he doesn't disappoint. You know,
I'm rooting for him. I hope he accepts my invitation and comes on the podcast.
I hope so too. I would
love to have a conversation with him. But I think you're 1,000% correct.
Yeah, he's more in the middle.
Like, there's some things that we all have to be in the middle about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with the whole left extreme. I definitely don't agree with that shit.
No.
And then there's right-wing extreme that I'm like, dog, like, chill. Like,
yeah.
Why can't we have common ground?
Yeah.
And be like, all right, you know what? This party's fucking up on this. They're fucking up on this. Why don't we just meet in the middle and find a solution?
Well, look, like
what does it have to be like?
Well, like you have like Stephen Crawford, by the way. Is it Stephen Crawford? Is that his name? Stephen Crowder. Stephen Crowder. They asked him, who should we deport? He says, everybody. I don't, I understand, but I don't fully agree with that. I understand, but I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree with deporting everybody. Well, you should have voted for Trump. Motherfucker, Obama was deporting too. So shut the fuck up. Does that make sense? Like, just shut up. Just shut up. Just don't talk. Okay? Oh, they were doing turnaround. No. The guy deported 3-point-something million people. Shut up. Okay? I don't want to hear that shit. Because if you voted for Obama, then you voted for deportations too. And kids in cages. Okay? And if you voted for Biden, you voted for 300 missing kids at the border and child labor. So just miss me with that bullshit. Don't play the holy ground with me. Okay? Let's get past that. Okay? Let's grow up. But my point is this. I don't agree with that because, like, hey, for example, yeah, there shouldn't be a statute of limitations on when you committed a crime. But, man, if 1, 2, 3 of your kids served in the military, fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a case where these 3 kids, the sons, they went to the immigration court with their mom. Dude, 3 of your kids are in the military? 3? Come on. You know what I mean? Like, come on. They're fighting for our country. Give the mom a break. Those are 3 soldiers you bred. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
You've been in the country. You've paid your taxes. You haven't committed a crime. You've been here X amount of time. Now you're a contributing citizen here. Okay, let's give them amnesty. Ronald Reagan did it. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't agree with the Stephen Crowder. Like, everybody, fuck how long they've been here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't fully agree with that. Every country deports. Mexico deports every day. They're deporting Cubans and Venezuelans like it's going out of style right now. But of course, MSNBC, Telemundo, and TikTok's not going to show you. Actually, TikTok will. Just look up Mexico deports Cubans. You'll see all the videos. It's so funny how it's selective hearing. Go watch the videos of how they're treating the Cubans and the Venezuelans. Little kids crying, deporting. They're beating the shit out of the Cubans in Mexico right now. Every country deports. But if you have contributing members of society, then you should just,
I agree with that 1,000%. I think certain people should have that pathway.
I was in Mexico in August. We do, every year we do something called a Vallartazo, okay? And we took the Can-Am, we started in Guadalajara, we go all the way to Vallarta. We do it every year, okay? With my cousins and a few of my boys. And so anyway, we ate at a restaurant where the guy's Cuban. Full-blown Cuban. And he's black. We don't have, like, full black. Like, we have mestizos, we have indigenous, but we don't have full black Mexicans. We just don't. Okay, shut the fuck up. No, we don't. Okay, yeah, we have dark people, but we don't have like full black Afro Mexicans. Okay, so he's there and he's serving us, and I said, "Where are you from?" So soy de Cuba, and I said, "Oh, how did you end up here?" Well, I was fleeing communism. How long you been here? 10 years. No shit. Yeah. How's everything going? It's good. Mexican people treat me good, but look, I'm working. I don't hurt nobody. I don't. Okay, well then, and I said, "How's your legal status?" I'm still in the middle of it. 10 years in Mexico, they still haven't given full legal status. 10 years. So miss me with that America, the race says, no, Mexico does the same shit. But the reason I share that with you, I'm like, hey, as a Mexican, that I'm a dual citizen, I want that guy here. Keep him here. He's not hurting nobody.
He's working.
Hence why I didn't agree with the ICE raids. You're going into the factories? You're going to the field? You're going to construction sites? Why? There's so many other places you can hit. I know we're past this conversation because it already happened, but shit, it just goes, what I'm trying to say is I'm in the middle with it. Does that make sense? I don't want my country being invaded either, though. You know what I mean?
I agree with you 1,000%, but I think there's this stigma that anybody that voted for Trump voted for this. Like, there has to be, like, I don't think anybody said, hey, I'm going to vote for Trump so they could deport all the hardworking people.
No, nobody said that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I don't agree with a lot of shit, you know?
The FBI has identified 20,000 terrorists that came in through the southern border. If you voted for Biden, did you vote for terrorists to be in our country? I can do this all day with you, too. I can give you stats of all the people that were let in. Rapists, murderers, child molesters that they're deporting right now. You voted for Biden, so you voted for that. You voted for a rapist to come into the country. So you're a rapist. But let's not play those games.
Exactly.
Because we can do it both sides, and you ain't going to like it when I tell you the truth.
And again, it's like, okay, why are they deporting so many people? Well, the door was open for 4 years.
Of course.
So I just think that...
Bro, that was the biggest thing that hurt our people.
A lot, bro.
The open borders hurt our people. They hurt us because the people crossing over were more Asian, Central American, and Middle Easterns. It wasn't a lot of Mexicans coming through. They hurt our people. That open border hurt us more than it helped our people that were already here fighting to stay here. You know what I mean? But I think there should be a like, hey, man, there should be certain categories that people can fit in to where, you know, hey, let's give you amnesty. Let's give you residency.
There has to be a pathway.
There has to be.
There has to be for people that pay their taxes, that work here, that are law-abiding citizens, that have never committed a crime.
Yeah.
I think they earned that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, shit. I mean, did they come here illegally? Yeah, man. I get it. But hey, look, the founders of this country were fleeing something too. Some people are fleeing shit. Like they do. And that's why I'm not fully against like asylum, or I'm not fully against amnesty. This country was built, it wasn't built by immigrants. It was built by settlers, not immigrants. People came here and they settled. They built the country, then we came. Okay? But the reason I showed up, because they were fleeing England, they were fleeing Ireland, they were fleeing Italy, they were fleeing imperialism and dictatorship. That's how this country was founded. So if people are fleeing shit and they don't have the time or the resources to be able to do it the right way, if they're here, then give them a list of things that if you do these things right here, then you're solid. Because that's how we were built. That argument, I understand it to a certain extent, but this country was built by immigrants. No, it wasn't. It was built by settlers. So you got to call things for what they are. Call an ace an ace and call a spade a spade. Okay. However, because we were built that way, why did we close the door on that? No, there's some people that fled, and there's serious reasons why they're fleeing their country. Vet them and then let them stay if they're members of society. That's where I'm in the middle.
A checklist, right? Like, all right, you got
same thing, yeah.
For the next 10 years, you got to pay this much every year.
Nope, and they'll happily do it.
Don't commit a crime, and if you do,
brother,
we'll give you some kind of visa.
And they'll happily do it. Knowing my grandma, my grandpa, now they're legal. You know, my grandpa's a citizen, so is my grandmother, my parents, luckily. But I guarantee you, before they became citizens, you gave them those options, they would take them in a heartbeat. They'll take it.
Now, the big question is going to be, who's going to give us that pathway?
I think it would be too political for either party to do it, brother. But let me tell you why. Biden was a president, had the House, and he had the Senate. He could have passed it, and he didn't do it. Obama had the House, and he had the Senate. He could have done it, he didn't do it. It's too political of an issue. It's too polarized. It's too polarized.
Like Trump might do it like towards the end, just to like stick it to the left. Like,
it's possible. It's possible.
I'm hoping that he does, man.
It's possible.
It's possible. That's a big win for us. Because the last one that did it was Reagan in '87, right?
Yep.
He's the reason why a lot of our relatives are.
Let me tell you what let me tell you why a lot of people don't even agree with Reagan. Because they're saying, well, shit, in that case, then everybody can do it. Just come here, hide out for 10 years. They'll give you amnesty in 10 years. Because I've already heard the opposing argument to it from hardcore conservatives. It's like, nah, bro. Because what you're doing is you're creating an incentive for people to continue to come illegally. And I'm like, I see where I can see that point.
Okay,
Dude, you got to be a reasonable person in these conversations. You can't just, fuck my emotions
sense.
and I'm a stupid little fucking ignorant bitch and let me just cry about everything. No. You got to sit there and be like, I can see where they're coming from. Yeah. And then that's the only way to find solutions. Arguing with people, yelling at people, calling everybody a racist, bigot, fascist. That's not the way you do it. That's not the way you solve problems. You solve them by having a real conversation with people and then finding a real solution. And by the way, and being open to the fact that you may not find one. You may not find a happy medium. That's it. That's all there's to it. Maybe not.
That's a higher probability, actually.
It's a higher probability that you're not, but at least you open the conversation and you build a bridge. You build a bridge. And then maybe later on through relationships, through getting along with each other, then what do you say? Man, I fuck with these people, man. Let me just give them a chance. You're more probable of opening a door for that than you fucking calling everybody a racist, biggest.
But where did we lose that?
The media did it. The media did it. George Soros is funding a lot of this stuff, brother.
Yeah, he
and
is.
they've already, and there's not a conspiracy. They've already found that George Soros is funding a lot of these Antifa, BLM. They're the ones funding it. There's a active intention to divide the country. Yeah, there's an active intention to do it. So people that have the power are gonna try to do that.
Create division.
Of course. Yeah, I don't think people are as divided as we think we are.
Because the majority of the Democrats that I talk to, they seem pretty reasonable.
For the most part, they are. But all you get on TikTok is the fucking crazy liberals. I was having a conversation last night with a Democrat. Great Democrat, good friend of mine, older man, phenomenal person. Some things we agree on, some things we don't. But guess what? We agreed on 75% of things. We had a great conversation. I talked to him for like an hour yesterday. In front of me, 65 years old, older white guy, professional, makes a lot of money. Great friend of mine. 25% of things we didn't agree with, 75% we did. And you will find that with reasonable people, 75% of the time they're going to agree with you. And you're going to agree with them.
But those are not the ones on the internet.
That's the problem.
You know, promoting fucking saying, okay, this is a liberal that was interviewed. They asked this individual, are you okay with a 12-year-old getting a tattoo? Her response was, no, she's not old enough to make those permanent decisions. They asked this individual, the same individual, they asked her, is it okay for a 12-year-old to get puberty blockers? Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, because at that point, they know what they're doing. They know themselves. So they don't know themselves enough to get a tattoo, but they know themselves enough to get a puberty blockers. By the way, these are I know what you saw because I watched the same thing. They asked like 3 or 4 different people the same question. And where were they asking these questions? What setting?
Oh, where were they at? It was at a university.
It was at a university, going back to its indoctrination camps. There's no independent thinkers over there.
It's all a bunch of fucking
lunatics.
Just
a bunch of lunatics.
Like, who in their right mind says, hey, you know what? Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's give these kids
have to be a lunatic.
Puberty blockers.
You have to be a lunatic.
Who in their right mind says, you know what? Yeah, let's let this guy compete in women's boxing so this guy could beat the shit out of this individual. Yeah, that's a great idea. Who?
Political correctness. Fucking libtards.
That's just crazy to me, brother. Yeah. It's just crazy to me that we even have to argue those points.
I agree.
You know, or it's just insane to me. And how could you logically come up with justifying that in your head? It just shows me that you might need therapy.
Yeah.
You might need help.
Yeah, you need Jesus.
You need Jesus. A whole lot of Jesus.
A whole lot of Jesus. You need church on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
All right. I want to talk about, I always want to bless them with some knowledge too. Finances.
Oh, man. Here we go. This is the number one destroyer of our households right now is finances. The number one reason why our people do not have independence is because of finances, not because of politics. No mayor is making a difference in your life, or no president is. It's the fact that you don't have enough money to take care of your bills and live above with your head above the water.
Why do you think that is, though? Is it bad habits, or is it
horrible bad habits? It's bad financial habits. Let me tell you something, JR. I have those tendencies too.
I think we all do.
I have those tendencies.
At one point, we've all
I
had
have those tendencies of having the bad financial habits. You know, on the way over here right now, let me give you the. I'm wanting to trade in one of my cars. I want something else, but the numbers are not looking right. Okay. By the way, I could afford to do it, but I'm like, is it the right timing, right? And they're giving me the numbers, and it's an expensive purchase. It's a vehicle, very expensive purchase, multiple six figures. And the down payment, and I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I can. And by the way, had this been 6 years ago, I wouldn't even thought about it. I'd be like, hey, bro, I'm going to go do a podcast. I'll go pick up the car afterwards. I would have done that because I've had the means to do it now for many years. I've been a millionaire for many years now. And, but I'm like, you know what I did? As I'm on the phone with the guy, I'm looking at Bitcoin. I'm like, where is it at right now? Nah, man, I'd rather dump those tens of thousands of dollars in down payment on Bitcoin. But the reason I share that with you is because half of my brain was tempted to tell him, hey, let's wrap this shit up, bro. Let's wrap it up. I'll stop by afterwards, leave you the down payment, I'll bring you the car.
How did you shift that mindset? Because it's easy to just say yes.
Yeah, it is. So it is easy for me right now.
Take us through that process. How did you say, you know what?
Well, I'm no longer thinking about instant gratification. I'm thinking about building a legacy for my family. Okay, so I'm thinking about what's going to set my family up. Okay, so let me tell you why. Let me. First of all, we have to take it step by step. Okay. What's the number one reason people say, I don't want to be rich because what's going to happen to my kids? What's the number one reason people say that?
They're going to be spoiled.
They're going to be spoiled. Okay. What about all the kids from East LA or East Bakersfield, where I grew up, in the hood, that were gangbanging with me? They weren't spoiled. I don't remember when I was in the hood having rich white kids come sell us drugs or our guns. I remember getting them from other poor Mexicans, just like me. So you're going to tell me that rich kids are spoiled, but the ones buying the guns and the drugs are us, that we grew up in the hood. You think that if I go right now to Big Hazard or Maravilla or Cuatro Flats or Compton or Florencia, they're going to be rich white kids in those neighborhoods? No. The stupid ideology that, I don't want them to get spoiled, so you want your kid to be a gang member then? So which one is it then? What do you prefer? But then, what I've learned, because I've been around, now that I've been on both sides, I dropped out of high school my junior year. I was doing time by time I was 19, 20 years old. I'm 37 now. It's been many years. I've got in trouble with the law. Okay? I was raised with gangsters, killers, and dope dealers. And now that I'm hanging around presidents, senators, lawyers, I'm hanging out with governors, and I see their kids, everything we're taught about how your kids are going to turn out is a bunch of bullshit. How do you know? Those people don't let you around their kids. They go to different schools than your kids do. They vacation in different places than you do. They eat at different restaurants than you do. How do you know they're going to grow up and be spoiled? How? You've never been fucking around them. Ever. You're going to tell me how the kids of rich people are? They won't let their kids around you. What are you talking? They barely even leave them around me, and I'm rich. No, it don't work like that. But now that I've been around these rich, wealthy people, it's different. They have them active in sports. They're traveling the world. They have them on vacation. They vacation in other countries. The kids are learning cultures from other countries. They're going to the best private schools. Their education level and intelligence is a whole different level than poor kids. By the way, who do you think is inheriting these companies? Ford is still in the family. The Ford family. This is like grandson running the company. What are you talking about? Your kids are going to grow up to be, if you teach them good habits, they're going to be okay. So being poor is the only way to teach kids habits? No. On the contrary, you're fighting against their community. I come from a family of charros. My cousin, shout out to Cazadores de Modesto. My primo Rafita, Fernando, Roman, up there, Osvaldo, they're state champions in charreria. They go to Mexico and compete. I was raised in a ranch like style childhood. My grandpa owned the ranch, Salomon, que paz descanse. My grandpa Miguel owned the ranch. He's retired now. I was raised chasing chickens, horses, pigs, goats. I was raised in that environment. How did I end up in the hood? Because my parents didn't want to spoil me? No, because my mom was a single mom. My dad's always been in my life. He was a big part of my life. My mom was a proud Mexicana, didn't want to take any money from my dad, even though my dad owned a bunch of businesses. And I'm going to do it on my own. It ended up costing me drop out of high school and go do time because of the bad environment. So what do you prefer? Have your kids travel the world, go to private schools, take over your business eventually, or because you want to be fucking noble and poor and teach your kids lessons, have them grow up in the hood and potentially lose them to prison or death?
That's a pretty simple.
It's a simple.
That's a pretty simple answer.
It's a simple analogy. So therefore, right now, like going back to answer your question, I'll come back to you right now. That's the way I'm setting my life up now. I'm setting my life up for my legacy. My decisions are based on legacy now. They're not based on instant gratification. Now, if you follow me, you know I live in a big, beautiful house. I drive a Lamborghini. I drive a 6-figure truck. I have a beautiful AMG truck. I have all the toys, all the whistles. You name it. Rolex, designer, yes. But I can afford that after my investments. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I buy that shit with what's left over, not with my primary income. And that's the mind shift. My bills, my investments, my savings, and then the toys. So my toys are with my affordability. They're not in my savings and they're not in my investments. Those are priority to me right now first. And not for me to tap into them, for my children to tap into them when I'm older and they build their companies.
How do we overcome that poor mindset?
Get around people that have a rich mindset. Poor is a mentality. Poor is not a financial situation. It's a mentality. It's decision making. It's, like the other day when we were here with Ricardo Reyes and with Ismael and with yourself, we all do well for each other. We all have conversations about building wealth and building a legacy for our families. I have no interest in hanging out with people that don't talk about things like that. And the problem is the majority of the reason that people remain in a broke mindset is because they're hanging out with people that don't have any aspirations. Earlier we were talking about my compadre Angel de Villar and his son and whatnot. And man, I had lunch with him the other day. It's his mind, like I told you earlier, he just works in his frequency is a different level. I learned so much just being around them. And when I'm around them, I don't talk. I just listen. I try to find ways to be around people that are way above me so I can learn from them. He happens to be one of them. Patrick David is one of them. Being around you guys that are wanting to take things to the next level. I just watch my association a lot. I watch who I talk to. Huh?
It matters.
It
so
matters.
much.
You are going to be the fifth person of whatever you hang out with.
I'm sure you're enjoying this dope-ass episode. I mean, you made it this far, so you might as well hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Now, let's get back to the episode, baby.
And that's what it comes down to. So watch your association. Like if you see, I had this friend that I love him to death, great guy. But every time, and this was about 8 years ago, my wife would tell me, every time you're around this person, you do X, Y, and Z every single time. It never fails. It's like fucking clockwork. And she says, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm the head of the household, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't believe in if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody. I don't believe in that bullshit. I'm the man of the house, okay? You're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and I can't do. But she says, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I can. You're not going to listen to me even if I told you anyway. But I would advise you to watch your relationship with him a little bit more and just see what happens. Sure enough. I said, okay, that's fine. Fair, because the way she came at me, respectful, not, you can't do this. We don't play that shit in my house, okay? Okay, no problem. All right, let me keep a distance. I kept the distance for 2 months, and I stepped away from those habits that I had when I was around him. And I mean, it's not going to take rocket science for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. Certain habits that I had when I was around him. And ever since then, it's been 8 years that I'm not actively in that activity anymore because of that. I just stood, by the way, great guy. I just saw him the other day at the gas station. Love him to death. You'll have a blast with the guy. But there's always, hey, come here. Boom. Every single time it's going to happen. I already know it. I kept my distance, kicked that bad habit. And I'm a very strong-minded person. I'm a very strong-minded person, but the devil's stronger, and we got to remember that.
The enemy's always stronger.
Always in us.
Tries to fucking infiltrate.
Absolutely.
I think people at home, especially like the younger viewers, they struggle with that. They struggle with
trying to fit in.
No, they struggle with cutting ties with certain people.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Like what would be the best advice? Like, okay, like if you know this dude right here is no fucking good, but you know him your whole life.
Yeah, it's tough.
And sometimes they're family. How do you just cut those ties?
Man, I'm going to first off saying it's tough. It's by cutting off people that you love and like to become the better version of yourself is probably the toughest thing you're ever going to do. Doing that is tougher than the actual journey to become successful. The journey to become successful is actually not hard. The cutting off the bad habits and the bad people is hard. And you know why it's hard? Because sometimes they're not bad people. They just have bad habits. So you think to yourself, well, they're really not that bad. But they have bad habits, and that's the problem.
Well, I think the bad habits is the key component.
It's the key component. So, but you have to ask yourself, where do you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years? And when you can answer that question and be honest about it and really thrive for that, the commitment level rises and the discipline rises with it. So, like, I know exactly where I want to be in 2030. Like, I know where I want to be. I'm very crystal clear about what I want. And so, therefore, every decision I'm making right now is a stepping stone to get me there. And when I'm talking about every decision, it's every relationship, everything that I eat, every podcast I'm on, everybody I associate myself with, everybody I spend time talking to, every move that I make is in that direction. When there is no clarity, everything's blurry. And so therefore, you're trying to search. It's no different than if we turn off the lights in this room right now and you're trying to find your way around the room because you're not clear about where you want to be in life. And when you're clear, it's like turning on the lights. Now you can see everything. If I'm over here, I'm not going to bump into the table. I'm not going to bump into the chair. I'm going to go around it because I can see it. But when you're not clear, you're bumping into everything. Everything is like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And you're wasting time, spending time trying to figure it out. And your destination is not even that far. But you're so distracted or so caught up trying to figure out where you are that it makes things difficult. So I tell people all the time, you got to figure out where you want to be. 5 years seems like 5 years seems like a long-term play to our Hispanic community. But you ask to white people, they know what they're going to do 20 years from now. But us, we don't even know what we're going to do this fucking weekend. That's a mind shift of our community.
But we have been
programmed that way.
way. I always say we've been programmed.
But you know who I'm going to blame for it too?
Who?
Oh, man, what I'm about to say right now, a lot of people are going to like. Brother, you should not be 25 years old living at home. You know who ruined Mexican men?
Who?
Mexican mothers.
Oh, shit.
Mexican mothers ruined Mexican men. How? I can't speak about Salvadorians, Hondurans, Brazilians, and Colombians. But Mexican women, moms, will ruin their kids. How did our dads get over here when they were 15 years old? And now you turn 18 and your mom's crying for you not to leave the house. When you're 18, you need to get the fuck out of your parents' house, bro. Because there's no accountability. So because you're living at home till you're 25, 30, 35 years old, why do you need to have a vision? Mommy and daddy are going to be there to have your back. You always have a soft pillow to fall on. There's no accountability in our community. None. There's no accountability. For the most part, I'm not saying everybody. There's never gonna feel that person that come in. My mom was not like, I know, motherfucker. Maybe not you. Like, you're the exception, dick. You're the fucking got it. You're okay. You're God. Got it. I understand. You're the exception. I got it. Great. I'm talking about in general, motherfucker. If it's not you, then I'm not talking about you. Okay. But is it fair to say that a high percentage of our people, the mothers, are the ones ruining the children? It's always the mothers. And then why? And how come the husbands don't step in? Because they don't want to fight with the moms. It's a fight. Now the men can't even raise their own men, their sons, because the moms are willing to fight with the husband over how they're going to raise a man.
And how about Mexican dads and their daughters? Like,
That's a different dynamic. I know.
They pamper them.
That's a different dynamic, brother.
They don't let
different.
It's like super like what is it called?
It's hypocritical.
No, what's the word I'm looking for? I was so into the double
standard.
Double standard. There you go.
Yeah, it's a double standard. But look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've said this before publicly. When I'm talking to, I have 11 offices, 2,700 agents across the country, and I train on things like this in my offices when I'm training about finances, and I touch on these subjects. I just and you can hang me for this one. But I believe it's different with women. I don't want my daughter leaving at 18 years old.
All right.
She doesn't have.
Let me tell you this.
She can't protect herself the same way.
Yeah.
She can't. I got to prepare her a little bit more.
Let me tell you this, though.
And
I think Mexican dads set up their daughters for a rude awakening.
This is true, too.
Do you know why I'm saying that?
No, I don't.
Because they have these high standards because they're the providers, they're the hombres, and they're the, hey, mi hija va a agarrar a alguien así.
That's true, too.
And in 2025...
That's true too.
Where they gonna find that, dog?
No. Yeah, that's true too.
You're married. I'm married. This guy's available. I don't know, but like the majority of those type of dudes are older and already locked down. Like Don Ramón. Disculpe, pero esa clase de hombres ya no existen.
No, they don't.
So it's like they don't exist.
They don't exist because of the moms. This message is more for the moms. You're creating weak men to the Mexican women.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Because isn't it like single moms, not just Mexican?
No.
Like if my mom had it her way,
look,
she would fucking have me
what
live.
What I'm about to say, brother, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot for this one. But you know what? I'm ready to be so raw and real with you guys that I don't really care. It's gonna backfire. I told you earlier I have 11 offices. I have 2,700 licensed insurance agents. I coach a lot of people. I can tell the difference between a mama's boy and a mom that said, you better get the fuck to work and you're not going to stay here past 18. The level of responsibility and accountability in those guys is so different than the mama's boys. It's so different. It's so different. My guys that are strong, my best guys, my killers, were raised with moms that said, you're a man the fuck up. A trabajar, cabrón. Y aquí no te puedes quedar toda la vida. And what's your plan? The ones that are the most emotional, less responsible, less accountable are always the ones where they were pampered by the mom. And they have the dad in their life. And when I've had the chance to meet some of them, I'm like, got it. The mom's the alpha. Got it. That man is not willing to fight with his wife to raise his son. I got it.
That's a great observation. So when a Mexican family
has a mother as the alpha, the son's going to be weak.
See, but that proves my point. That proves my point of the single moms. Because si la mom tiene like the relationship, she's going to teach her son to be a man the way she thinks a man's supposed to be.
Right, and she doesn't know how to be a man.
Because they don't know how to be a man.
This is true, but no, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're right. It's the alpha women that are married and single moms. By the way, I'm about to say something that's very unpopular too. You know what I tell my guys about women that were raised by single moms? I tell my guys that my agents, because I'm not just an insurance broker. I train my guys too. I teach leadership development, growth. I also do consulting. I do business consulting. I consult for other businesses. They hire me to be their consultant, and I help their businesses grow. Outside of what I do with insurance, I'm a business consultant. And I tell my guys all the time, I have one guy in particular that I consult for. And I told him, young, single, good-looking guy, makes money. I said, brother, stay away from girls that were raised by a single mother. They don't know how to treat a man. They're very, very, very combative. They're not submissive. They don't give in. Their ego's through the roof and their pride is big. Be careful with them. They'll ruin your life. I tell them all the time. Now, is there exceptions watching this podcast today? Yes. But I'm sorry, I'm not taking my chances. Okay? If I go to Florida, especially like in the Miami area, is there a chance there's not going to be an alligator in the pond? Is there a chance that there's not?
There might be.
There's a chance that there's not going to be one. But I'm not taking the chances that there's going to be one. Okay? You go to the southern Florida, there's probably going to be alligators in the lake. So I'm not willing to take the chance. I'm not willing to test the waters. So I tell my guys, don't test the waters. And so I tell them, on the contrary, here's what I want you to do. What I want you to do is I want you to meet the parents as soon as fucking possible. I'm talking about as soon as possible. Do a barbecue, invite them to your house, do something, meet the parents as soon as possible before you get emotionally invested with this girl. Then you're going to see the dynamics of the family. That's your future. And how do I know? I've been coaching people for 10 plus years. I've seen this happen a million times. A mí no me vas a venir a contar. I don't give a fuck what your personal experience in your household has been. I've coached thousands of people. Your situation may be different, viewer, but you're only talking about your life. I've seen thousands of lives, okay? And there is exceptions. But again, I'm not jumping into a pond in South Florida because there may not be an alligator. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good for you if you're the exception. You are not the rule. So therefore, going back, as much as single moms can raise weak men, they raise very combative women. And so therefore, I tell my guys all the time, stay the fuck away from daughters from single moms. They are very hard to deal with.
But
and that's not a popular, by the way.
But it kind of goes both ways. Like, even if, how about a single mom raising a man? They're going to make them, they're going to coddle them.
For the most part, that is the case as well. I'm not saying, I'm saying the same thing. Yeah. It's just for the women. Anybody raised, God did not intend for us to be raised by single, and I was raised by a single mother for 6 years. Yeah. By the way, you know what? My dad's always been a part of my life. We have a great relationship. Always has. My dad's not a deadbeat. He's always been involved, always been financially involved, emotional, everything. But you know what was the best thing that happened to me when I turned 12 years old?
What?
My stepdad was the best thing that happened to me.
Really?
Yes, because he came in, he taught discipline, accountability, responsibility. My life, as much as my dad plays a role, I don't give my stepfather enough credit. My stepbrother, Stephen Beadle, I got to, I just talked to him earlier today. I don't give him enough credit as I should, because he played a big role in my accountability growing up. Big, and I don't give him enough credit. I really, really don't. But my stepdad coming into my mother's life and helping raise me and my younger brother, he was a blessing in disguise. Now, my mom and him didn't work out. They ended up getting divorced a few years back. She remarried. But he was by far the best thing that could have happened to me and my brother at 12 years old. My mom was a single mom. She was by the time she was single, she was 23 years old when she was single already, a single mother. My parents got divorced when I was 6. She had me at 17 or 18, somewhere around. She was 23, 24 years old. 6 years later, she was 29, somewhere around there. Her marrying my stepdad was the best thing that happened to me and my brother. Wow. And not taking away anything from my dad, because the daily accountability. Hey, get up, make your bed, boom, go cut the lawn. Hey, take the trash out. Hey, let me see your homework. All the shit my mom didn't do, because that was not her role, he did. And that taught me to be I'm a disciplined man today. Even though I saw my father be my dad's an extremely disciplined man, but I didn't see him day to day. I saw my stepfather day to day.
That's a good point.
It's the father figure.
The father figure is what plays a role. Have you guys ever watched that show where they're trying to the single moms are raising little kids as a little white kid, and they bring a military man really strong. He's like, "You want me to be your daddy?" Like because he's aggressive with him, and the little kid's like, "Yes." Yeah. Have you ever watched it? Yeah. Come on, because that's a combination that we need now. You know, I wish all the love and respect and growth and good family to all the single mothers. You know, all the kids of single mothers. But I'm not taking my chance on you. You could be somebody else's experiment, and then you know what I mean. And I'm gonna get hate for that, but fuck it, it is what it is. I'm good. I'm open with that. You know.
I think it's very important to put the light on how important it is to have a family.
But I'm also, you know what I'm also doing though? I'm hoping that I inspire people to stay together and not divorce.
That's what I'm saying.
This is not just bashing. I can't bash a single mom. I don't know what happened in her life. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not bashing that. But try to work it out to stay together.
I think the majority of the single moms don't want to be a single mom.
No, they don't. Yeah,
but it's like, I hope that they could fix.
But you know what?
It goes back to what you were saying, bro, in regards to like telling men to choose wisely, or the women.
If you choose wisely, you don't have to deal with this.
The one they want to date, same thing with women. The single women, single mothers, they need to do better at picking the men they're picking.
Of course.
Because like there's a lot of signs, a lot of flags that tell us, okay, this person is gonna be an issue.
Yeah.
Before you get all emotionally entangled But the problem is we get entangled with an emotion first, and we get blinded to the red.
Yeah, but Cat Williams said something, and what I'm about to say right now is vulgar. Okay, so I apologize in advance.
All right.
Okay, so if you have this on high, if you're watching this on high volume, lower it during the next part. So Cat Williams is doing a show, and it's one of his original ones, like the chronic.
What's it called? Chronicles.
The Chronicles of Cat Williams, and he says, "Yeah, I'm tired of hearing you women. Yeah, Pimp Chronicles. I'm tired of you women talking about niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit, right?" And then he says, "Well, you got to figure out what about your pussy is attracting ain't shit niggas." and the reason I share that with you is because it's true. We figure out what about you is attracting ain't shit men. Like, you can't blame the men. You're the one picking them. You know what I mean?
You're the one attracting them, essentially.
But here's what I will tell you too for women. Let me defend both sides a little bit. As a man, hey Dick, if you want your wife to respect you or your girlfriend to respect you, you got to provide for the household. There's no 50-50. You got to provide for the household. Whatever she brings in is extra. My wife has an account that every Friday, I put money into her account every Friday. She has her own little personal account. And she doesn't need to. We make shit a load of money. We don't need to. But I want her to, hey, babe, this is yours. And every week, and she reminds me every Thursday, babe, don't forget my 10% tomorrow. You know what I mean? So our residuals and our commission, all that come in, and the overrides and whatnot, they come in on Fridays. And I give it to her, right? That's her thing. That's for her. I don't do 50-50. Dick, I pay all the bills, and on top of that, I pay my wife. I don't pay her, but you know what? I give her money to her little account. That's her money. I give her 10% of whatever we make every month, and it goes into her account. I just closed a business deal. I had to go out of the country. I'm closing this deal. Okay, cool. And then, by the way, just so you know, when I close this deal, you're getting, and it was not a couple $1,000s, it was a lot. This is going to get wired to your account, just so you know when I close this deal. Okay, babe, sounds good. She didn't ask for it, but okay, sounds good. Why? Because there's a part of it too, man, where you got to build your woman. Does that make sense? Like, you got to, and then, like, it's so funny. She has access to all her accounts, all her credit cards. She walks in the other day with a new outfit, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice outfit. She said, I bought it with my money. I'm like, but I understood what she said when she was saying she bought it from her account. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's good, baby. She has her little money, and that's, but she's not lazy. She works, she grinds, and so there's that part of it too, where we got to build an empire for our queens to be real queens. We got to build an empire for them. We got to set them up too. And I really believe that's a men's responsibility. Like, what you do, sure, it helps the household, but we're not going to die without it. I'm going to put you through school, right? I'm going to do this. The way you can follow your career, whatever you want to do. But I think that more than just providing, we should create, hence why I don't drink, I don't smoke. You won't catch me at, places where, because I'm building an empire for my family. Those bad habits the way I look at it is, not only am I providing for myself, I'm providing for my wife and for my kids too. And if I want to provide for 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and I mean provide, I'm not just talking about paying the bills and eating food. I'm talking about building an empire for them. I got to do triple the work. I got to get up earlier. I got to work longer. I got to run more appointments. I got to meet more people. I got to close more transactions in order for me to be able to provide them with just more than the basics. You know what I mean? So that's on the women's side. So when you meet a guy, young ladies, or even if you're not young, you got to ask them these questions. Don't ask, what's your bank account? No. Hey, what's your plans for the future? What's your goals? What do you want to accomplish? And not so you could be a fucking leech to that, but to figure out, can I help this man grow? The man doesn't have to be successful when you meet him, but he has to have aspirations. That man's going to go somewhere. If that man has aspirations, maybe he's in his mid-20s, he hasn't accomplished a whole lot yet. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Chances are he hasn't. Millionaires are typically over the age of 35. Mm-hmm. But if he's not there and he's still young and you're young, figure out if the man has aspirations and then go from there. Even if he's not where he wants to be right now. But if you know he's going somewhere, you can see it in him, shit, go along for the ride and become millionaires together and travel the world together. That's what me and my wife did. I was well off before I got married to her, but we really 10X'd after we got married. And we've traveled the world, and we've been invited to some of the coolest shit that I can't always post about. And we're having dinners with people that are like, whoa, I can't even believe we're here. It's a beautiful part of growing too.
Yeah, but it has, you guys both contribute. And of course, you guys have the same end goal.
Of course.
The problem is that some of these couples out there dating had different
end goals,
directions.
Yeah. And you will grow apart. You absolutely will grow apart. Like, there's no doubt about it. You're going to grow apart. It's you have no idea how many people I coach that I'm like, man, that guy can fucking kill it, but he's with the wrong girl.
Oh, I see that all the time.
And I see people sometimes where the girl can kill it and she's with the wrong guy. And I'm talking about like, they're married with kids already. Oh, I'm like, fuck. And what are you going to tell them? Get divorced? I'm not going to do that. But I've sat back, I'm like, man, he would fucking kill it. But she's negative. She likes to bitch a lot, complain a lot. He wants to work more hours, come to trainings, and she doesn't want to be home by 5. Like, I'm like, dude, you're killing your financial freedom. I've seen that happen many times too. That's why being marrying the right person is important.
Do you think sometimes women want that successful entrepreneur that's going to provide, but kind of contradict themselves?
Absolutely.
And be like, oh, but I want you home too. Like, okay. Like, what do you want? Like, if you want a successful man, he ain't going to be around 24/7.
Look, my anniversary was October 29th, okay? I was in town. I didn't go nowhere. We didn't do anything. But you know where my wife was 2 weeks prior to that? I sent her and her best friend to go watch a concert, not in America, and I bought their flights. I bought the tickets. I got everything for her to go and have a time of her life with an artist that she really likes. I give her experiences now. Last year, it was her birthday. I had 3 tickets ready. I sent her to New York with her sister and her niece for her birthday. That's the part of it. Like, dude, we're not hung up on dates right now. We're not hung up on that. My wife spends, y sin querer queriendo, every single one of her birthdays in a different country. That wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional at all. But you know, the first 2-3 years, we didn't celebrate her birthday. Now she literally celebrates her birthday because we took a trip every June or July, and she always ends up in a different country. Paris, Jamaica, Aruba, Cancun, Monaco, Italy. She's always in a different country. But we don't take these dates so serious. The date is not that important. And that's another poor mentality. The date. No, the experience is more important than the date, right? And I know that what I'm about to say, that sounds kind of fucked up to people. That's fine. That's why you are where you are, and that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? We have a different mentality. The date is not that important. Not to me, at least, not to us. And so what do? We were working that day, but a couple of weeks prior to that, I sent her off, and she had a time of her. She called me. She was in the hotel 3 a.m. You know, she would, had a little bit to drink, and babe, I love it here. Thank you so much. And she woke me up. I was scared. I thought something happened, you know. But she was just calling me to tell me how grateful she was. That's what life is about, man. Give experiences to your loved ones. Don't get hung up on dates so much. It's like tomorrow's Thanksgiving. It's fucking Thanksgiving Day. It's not Thanksgiving weekend. There's no such thing. That was commercialized. You know who loves weekends of holidays? Walmart, Macy's, Sears, if they even exist, some of these fucking companies. These companies, they love that you think it's a fucking weekend. You go spend all your money for 4 days. All these holidays were not created by church. They were created by businesses to have you buy more. Black Friday, this shit, that shit. No.
Yeah, this is the day where everybody's going to go broke.
Everybody's going to go broke. By the way, America has already exceeded $1 trillion in credit card debt. Guess where 60% of the debt, what dates 60% of the debt has occurred for most Americans?
Black Friday?
Christmas. Fuck. Credit card companies love, so if you look up of when people are maxing out their credit cards, it's Christmas. People are buying shit they can't afford. And they're getting in debt and they're paying interest on that. So the reason I share that, it's a broke mentality. It's a broke, you buy what you could afford, and if you can't afford it, don't put it on a credit card. Let me give you financial advice right now. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. But make a goal to next year, you're going to buy it. But join a business, start a business, buy something, invest in something, do something, do a side hustle. If you like making tacos, don't do them for free anymore. Fucking sell them. Create a side hustle. Find something that's going to make you money. Fuck what people think. That way next Christmas, there is no putting shit on credit cards. You're buying it free and clear. And you're not owing the credit card companies all this money that you're paying in interest on a monthly basis. You know? It's discipline, though. But our people are instant gratification people, and that's what hurts them the most. We don't think about the future.
But once again, we're programmed that way.
Yeah.
Now, ve, cómprate el carro, te lo mereces. It's like we want to justify fucking up money in our own head.
Well, we make emotional, we make emotional decisions, and then we make an emotional decision, and then we justify it logically. That's what we do. Instead of making a logical decision, then later on being emotional about it. No. And by the way, I'm guilty of it. I've done it. So I understand.
Yeah, we've done it, but we learn from it.
You got to learn from it, yeah.
So now you guys get to learn from our mistakes, so don't make that mistake.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to do things that you know, like for example, I had a bar of gold that I bought 5-6 years ago. The kilo of gold was worth 50 grand. Blasio's worth 133,000. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool come up. Yeah. But what story I haven't told is that I had a 10-ounce bar of gold and I fucking sold it at 14,000. It's worth 42,000 right now. And I did that 4 years ago. I shouldn't have done that. That's the part that you have to learn the hard way. So, you know what I mean? That one bar, it's 10 ounces of gold. It was worth, I think it was to be fair, 16,000, 17,000. I did a business with it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this, and this. And I made some money on the transaction that I made. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But that same bar, if I would have just kept it, it would be worth 40. Right now, the price of gold is $4,170. It would be worth $41,700 right now.
Damn.
And what happened? I fucking, you know, so you're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. But you got to put yourself in a position to win eventually.
You're going to make mistakes, but you got to learn from those mistakes. If you keep on making the same fucking mistake all the time, it's no longer a mistake. No. It's just a shitty habit.
No, it is. That's exactly what happens.
You know, it's like, all right, you can't continue to say, oh, I fucked up. And you're making the same mistake. Yeah. Like, come on, man.
The 3 core things that everybody should be thinking about when they're setting up themselves financially is, number 1 is obviously having your savings, is having your life insurance, because if you die, you have that, and your retirement. And then the third thing that you should be thinking about is how to own your home so you don't rent for the rest of your fucking life and build equity in it. Those are the 3 things. Save, have your life insurance and your retirement plan, and have your house. You do that, eventually you will create pathways for wealth. It ain't going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen eventually.
It's a long process.
Brother,
That's the problem.
You know what's crazy? I waited 1 year to buy my house. 1 year. I ended up buying the same house. It went up by 70 grand in 1 year. I paid $70,000 more for waiting for 1 year. And you know why I was waiting? Take a wild guess why I was waiting. And you're going to know the answer to it. And you're going to be like, you're a fucking idiot.
Were you waiting for the rates?
I was waiting for the fucking rates. I was waiting for the rates. And the rates ended up costing me $70,000 in 1 year. Waiting for the rates. And that's one thing I regret so much. I could have just refinanced. I should have bought it at the price they gave me originally. And luckily, it was still in the market a year later. Luckily. And because it was never publicly in the market, it was offered to me privately. And he was not in a hurry to sell it. So he didn't put it on the market. When I went back, hey, I'm ready to buy the house from you. Okay, now it's worth this much. Fuck. And the only reason I didn't buy it the first time he offered it to me was because of the fucking rates.
And it cost me
70 grand. It cost me 70 grand. Stop waiting. If you're in a position to do that, buy now.
Exactly.
And
but everybody wants
later.
Everybody wants to time the market.
You're not going to time shit. Warren Buffett can't do it unless you're Nancy Pelosi.
Oh,
unless you're Nancy Pelosi, you can't time the market.
That's a great fucking point.
By the way, you know they created the Nancy Pelosi strategy plan? Did you guys hear about that?
No.
So people were following on Nancy Pelosi's investments, and they were selling the investment strategy to people. People became millionaires following Nancy Pelosi's investments. It was literally called the Nancy Pelosi investment strategy. Literally, it was a website. I think they brought it down already. And all they did, they sold you her trades, and people became millionaires as Nancy Pelosi was worth $400 million. Isn't that crazy?
She sure has some insight.
She's better than
Warren Buffett. I wonder who's the one. She's better than Warren Buffett.
She's better than Warren Buffett. You cannot. I'm telling you guys right now. You cannot time the market.
But she's gonna retire after 420 something
years.
Yeah.
And millions of dollars that she had.
That is a fucking Medusa, man. But hey.
But no kings though.
No kings. Yeah. No kings. No kings.
That's the silly shit right there.
Yeah, I know.
But my brother, this was good. Man, we dropped some bars. I appreciate you. I know that you live pretty far, but
we made it happen.
We made it happen, bro.
It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Man, we appreciate you, bro. Every time you come on, it's been the third time.
My third time. Yeah.
We always drop some knowledge.
Absolutely.
And I know it's far, but it's worth the drive.
It's always worth it.
And I appreciate you stopping by, my brother.
The moon is far, and we still made it. So.
Eso, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we out. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss our weekly episodes. Let's go, baby.